They literally drizzle chocolate in the cup, put nuts, and then put the ice cream, and give you like a little chocolate bit on top. And oh my god, sorry, my mouth is literally gonna water talking about this. I miss Rome. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and happy new year. I am filming this literally on New Year's Day, and I don't know why I'm filming on a day where I have a sore throat, but excuse the raspy voice or whatever it is from my cold, but thought it'd be a good day to film this video. And as you can see by the title, I will be talking about my tips and recommendations for visiting Rome. Now, if you've seen my other two videos, you'll know that I went to Rome in December. We went for 3 nights, I believe, and it was just the most amazing experience. Rome has always been somewhere that I have wanted to visit for such a long time. It was one of those places that I had to tick off my bucket list alongside New York. Those were the two places that I just knew I had to visit, and it was such a memorable and special trip. And you'll see why when I talk about my tips and recommendations. So grab a tea, grab a coffee, grab a snack, and let's get into this video. Now, my first recommendation is, I really would say to you, if you are going to visit Rome, is to go in winter, mostly in December, but if you go in sort of October, September, November time, that's also fine. And the reason for this is because Rome and Italy can get really hot in summer, and it'll make it difficult to sort of go for long walks or walk around the city when it's really hot. Some people might like that, but I don't really like that. I remember going to Milan when it was August and it was so hot, you just did not want to feel like walking around. So I recommend going sort of in a period where the weather's not too cold, but it's just sort of nice walking weather. Now, we went December, so we went early in December, and it was warm, like it was not cold at all. Yes, it was raining for the most part, but there was a couple days or sort of periods in the day where it didn't rain, and that was actually really lovely, and I'll show you some clips. Yeah, it was just really nice, and there was a point where I wasn't even wearing a jacket and the sun came out, so, and that was in December. You would not get that here in the UK. So yeah, and obviously coming up to Christmas, it just feels even more magical with the lights, the decorations, the Christmas tree. And then obviously going to Vatican for Sunday Mass to hear the Pope. So yeah, it was just really magical, especially at Christmas time, just because of the decorations and stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going then if you can. But obviously, whenever you go is fine. Like I said, some people might prefer the summer. Another recommendation is making sure that you do your research on where you're staying. Now, we did quite a lot of research on hotels, things like that, obviously to get the best out of budget, location, and all that stuff. So I recommend using TripAdvisor. We use that quite a lot. We sort of went back and forth with the hotel, so we would book one, cancel, find another one, book another one, and we did that for a little bit of time before we actually booked, and we ended up staying at Hotel Alexandra. Now, that hotel was decent. I think it was a 3-star. It was a decent hotel for the price. I would probably say the best thing about that hotel was the location. We were so central, and I'll show you when we did our sort of morning walks. It was so central. You could walk anywhere. We walked to the Colosseum, to Vatican City, to Trevi Fountain. There's restaurants nearby. It was literally that's probably the best thing about that hotel. It was very clean, I would say. It was a clean hotel. Not a massive room, but it was very clean. The staff, I would say, were friendly for the most part. One thing we did sort of mess up on was in the room, because it's a sliding bathroom door. We didn't know. So we were like, where is the door? So we literally had to go to reception to ask them where the door was, and we just felt so dumb in that moment, but it's a sliding door. So I'll probably say to you, if you go to a Rome hotel, most hotels might have a sliding door, so double check that before you obviously embarrass yourself and ask the hotel staff. But the bathroom was a decent size. I didn't really like the shower, but everything else was fine. One thing I didn't get was not being able to bring food and drink in the hotel. Now, I don't know if that's common with Italy or Rome or what it is. Let me know in the comments. But we weren't even allowed to bring water. You'd have to buy it from the actual hotel. I understand food maybe, but stuff like water and stuff, I think that's essential. You should be able to actually use it. I forgot to plug in my mic, as you can tell. That's from when I was traveling and I kept taking my mic off when traveling, but whatever. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, not being able to bring food and drink, which was really weird. I don't know if that is a law there. I think it might be. Other than that, the hotel was decent for the price. I'll insert the price if I can remember what it was. And also the name and stuff, so you can obviously go Google it yourself and TripAdvisor it if you do want to. I remember when we first got there and we got a taxi from the hotel there. Was it about 25 to 30 minute drive from the airport? So that's also good to know. It's not far from the airport, but the taxi driver told us that it would be quite a long walk from where we were to the Colosseum. And I don't know if that's because he wanted us obviously to book the taxi to go from there to there. But we ended up just literally putting it in our phone, Google Maps, and walking, and it wasn't actually that far. So yeah, it's definitely walking distance to a lot of famous attractions. So that's also a bonus. And I think I would recommend you doing the same anytime you book a hotel, is check how far it is from the airport, check how far it is from any local attractions, restaurants and things like that, and that will obviously help you. Now, another recommendation is food. Now, we had some of the best food in Rome, in Italy, that you can have. Literally, if I tell you that I could eat a seafood pasta every day, that is literally what I was eating every day. We obviously use TripAdvisor quite a lot to Google restaurants before we'd go in. On our first day, we did kind of make a mistake of not doing that, and we ended up not really having great lunch. But from there, we ended up doing that throughout the whole trip. And I'll insert some names of the places that we ate, because I can't remember on the top of my head, so I'll insert some names. And literally the best restaurants that we went to, we'd have seafood pasta, carbonara, we had pizza at one point, bruschetta, we had obviously drinks, apple spritz, I think we had prosecco. So yeah, definitely I would recommend in terms of food is having a seafood pasta at least once, and from probably one of these restaurants. They were just so nice, the staff was nice. There's one restaurant that I'll insert the name that we kept going back to literally probably 3 times. Went once for lunch, twice for dinner, had seafood pasta both times, and then pizza another time. But literally you're greeted at the door, they give you, is it like sparkling wine or champagne, probably prosecco, and then after your meal they'll give you like a free limoncello, which was a new discovery for us when we were in Rome. I've never had that before, but it's literally something that I probably would drink again. Even here, we did buy a bottle and we bought it back. Limoncello is like a little shot that you have after dinner, and it's probably helps set the stomach. And it's just, yeah, it's just nice. Good vibes, good people, good location of the restaurants. We always managed to get a seat. So yeah, I would definitely recommend going to these places. And I think when they know you're a returning customer, they're just super friendly, super nice. They were anyway, but just that extra special treatment that you get when you're a returning customer. So yeah, I'll definitely recommend going to one of these places for food. Another recommendation is where to visit when going to Rome. Now, if you see my vlogs, you will know all the places that we went to, and these are the places that you definitely have to go to in Rome. So obviously, the main one being the Colosseum. Now, who has ever said I'm going to Rome and not visited the Colosseum? Whether it's actually going inside or going on the outside, it's just as amazing, it's just as beautiful either way. We went both during the day and at night because we wanted to experience it at night with the lights and things like that, and it's definitely on a whole other level of experience when you go at night. It's just so beautiful, and obviously I'll insert clips. We didn't go inside to do a tour, however we'll probably do that next time we go to Rome, because we'll definitely be going back. I think when we checked, a standard tour just to sort of go and not have a guided tour was about £40, and if I find the prices I'll link it down below. I think doing it at night time was about £90 each, which is pricey, but if the Colosseum is somewhere that you've always wanted to visit, then obviously I recommend doing that. It would have been an amazing experience going inside. Obviously guided tours are more expensive because you have someone walking you around for a couple hours talking about different bits of it, but I think just doing a normal tour as well would be fine, because I think you get something that obviously helps guide you. Like I had when I went to New York, it was like a sort of phone and you listen and you go to different spots, so it probably would have been the same thing. But yeah, if your budget is more, then you should do a tour, or at least go inside the Colosseum once. Obviously another location was Trevi Fountain, which is a popular location. Anytime we would walk past, because it's so central to our hotel and where all the restaurants are, it was always packed. Like, you couldn't even get up close unless it was raining a lot. Even then it was quite busy, but we managed to get a few times where we actually were able to get up close. And it was just one of those experiences where it's just so peaceful. I don't know what it is about it, whether it's the water flowing or what it is. It was just so peaceful, and just felt really magical being there. It was definitely one of our favourite spots to go to anytime we sort of walk past. Another one would be the Spanish Steps. So that was in my first video. Was it my first? Yeah, my first video. That was really beautiful. On that day it was very sunny, so it was nice just walking around the steps, and then you're local to all the shops where you have like Gucci and things like that. There's a lot of restaurants nearby. And from the Spanish Steps is actually where we went to our next location, which I'm going to mention, which is the Vatican City. We weren't actually planning on going to the Vatican City, only because I did mention when we first got there that would be a place I would always wanted to visit. But when we put it into Google Maps from our hotel, it was about a 15-minute walk, and we were like, how are we going to find this? It was quite far, didn't know if we would have time. Obviously the weather wasn't great all the time. I mean, we could have obviously looked at getting a taxi, but just because of timing we thought maybe we won't go. But when we went to the Spanish Steps, we ended up just going for a walk. We literally just got lost in Rome, and we just went for a stroll. It was beautiful weather. We somehow ended up at the Vatican City, and I don't know how, don't ask me to remember the route, but we didn't even use Google Maps. We were just walking and walking and walking, and we ended up there. It's almost like we were meant to go there. We kept saying the whole time, like, we were actually meant to arrive here and come here, and something led us here. Because it was just weird, the fact that we wanted to go but thought we're not going to go because it's far, and we ended up there. Just somehow, it's almost like we were guided there. It's like, how, we've never been to Rome, how did we end up coming here? And not only that, we ended up going on a Sunday, and literally a few minutes after we got there was when the Pope did the Sunday Mass and obviously gave a speech and things like that. So it's almost like the timing of when we got there, and also the day, and yeah, just how we got there was such a weird experience. But yeah, everything is walking distance, I would probably say. So if you are staying at the hotel we stayed at, you can definitely walk there. It is a long walk, but it's definitely worth the walk, because you get to see different parts of Rome and the streets, and you get to wander around and just feel free, that you're not sort of expecting to go anywhere, but you end up obviously going somewhere which is amazing and beautiful, and it was just such an amazing experience. And then it was sunny the whole time we were there, and as we were about to leave it starts raining, so just the timing of everything was just perfect on that day. And yeah, I definitely recommend you visiting the Vatican City. Obviously a place I wanted to go inside and just look around was the Sistine Chapel, which we didn't get to do, but that's I think because of timing, and it was just so busy. And that's something I would love to do next, because I think it would just be beautiful just seeing obviously this hand painted ceiling by Michelangelo, and that's something I've always wanted to see, and hopefully we get to do that next time when we go. And if you are going Rome anytime soon, maybe that's something you want to look into doing. I don't know if you have to pay. I'll do some research and I'll put it in the video if you do have to pay, and I'll insert links, but I'll definitely recommend doing that. And yeah, in terms of budgeting, I think we didn't spend as much as I thought we would spend. We ended up taking about 400, well, we did £400, and then obviously converting into euros, and that was enough for the whole time. We had money left over, and that money that we had left over we used at duty free, which we got the limoncello and stuff like that. But yeah, that was actually more than enough, and not to mention we ate dinner, lunch, breakfast, got ice cream. So yeah, that money lasted. So I would probably recommend doing the same. We got drinks quite a few times, cocktails and stuff like that. So you don't really need that much money for 3 days in Rome. I mean, if you want to take more, do you? But we didn't actually need that much money. We actually even thought that might not be enough, but it obviously was, because we had money left over. But yeah, budgeting is not very difficult when you go to Rome. I thought it would be expensive just because when I went to Milan it was expensive in terms of having to pay to sit down to have a coffee, for example, whereas in Rome it wasn't like that, and I was kind of expecting it to be like that, but it wasn't. So do your research in terms of money and things like that, but that wasn't expensive, and we managed to, like I said, get by easily with that much money. And that just reminded me, because I was going to forget, because I was speaking about food, is ice cream. Gelato, obviously. That is something that you have to try at least once. We got it a few times. We went to the same place called Venki, which was like, it was the best ice cream place in Rome. Obviously we didn't try other ones, but I think that's a very popular one, and we actually saw YouTube videos where they reference this place. We just, oh my god, it was just the best. And like, you're literally in December, outside, 10 o'clock at night, in the rain, eating ice cream. Like, where do you usually get that? You won't get that here. I don't even eat ice cream here inside in winter, let alone outside on the street walking around. But it's just the best ice cream, like the flavours, like the pistachio, vanilla, hazelnut, cookies and cream. Oh my god. Like, if I could have that ice cream again right now, I would go to Rome just right now for that ice cream. So yeah, I definitely recommend going to Venki. I think they had 2 locations that we saw. One of them was usually really busy and the other one wasn't so busy. We ended up getting chocolate there as well to take home, which wasn't too bad. It was about €15 for like a small box of chocolate with like 6 pieces. But yeah, they literally drizzle chocolate in the cup, put nuts, and then put the ice cream, and give you like a little chocolate bit on top. And oh my god, sorry, my mouth is literally gonna water talking about this ice cream, but I'm gonna stop because I really want it again. But I'll insert pictures of the ones we had. But yeah, Rome is magical, that's all I can say. The streets, the people, the amazing historical buildings, the culture. It's just a place that still has its history, and I think that's what I love about it, because when I go to places, I want that history, I want that culture. I don't want it to be changed for tourists, and Rome definitely still has that, and it's probably why it was a place that I've always wanted to visit. So you definitely won't be disappointed in terms of that. And obviously the food as well, authentic Italian food, you know, you don't go there to have McDonald's, you go there to have pasta, lasagna, pizza, bruschetta and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you do your research specifically on the food, because the food can either make or break your holiday. And if you've been to Rome, let me know places that you've gone to that were either good or bad that you would recommend. But yeah, everything about it. 3 days was more than enough to visit all these places that we went to try all this food. Obviously, if we could have gone longer, I wish we could have, because that would have been amazing. Probably next time. But this was literally just a short trip before Christmas. But you're literally out all day long, morning to night, and it feels like you're there longer. But if you're obviously doing tours and things like that, you want to make sure you have more time, just because they take up a big chunk of your day. And make sure you just try all the different places to eat ice cream, chocolates, limoncello. And yeah, what other place can you go to and sit outside looking over at a historical building, eating your pasta, drinking wine? Like, what other place other than Rome? But yeah, these were just my few tips and recommendations of where to stay, what to do, where to eat when visiting Rome, and when to go, which obviously winter, Christmas time. But yeah, if you haven't watched my vlogs, make sure you watch 1 and 2, which are already on my channel, and let me know if you've been to Rome, if you're planning on going to Rome, if this video was helpful in terms of places you would go and eat or visit and things like that, or budgeting. But yeah, Rome was so magical and I can't wait to go again. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel, all the new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? But yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing year ahead, and I look forward to doing more content for you guys, more Buffy videos, entertainment videos, vlogs, travel. And yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you in my next video.